Every founder begins the same way, with a spark. That late-night flash of insight that makes your pulse race. You see the gap in the market, the problem nobody has fixed, and you whisper to yourself, "This could be it." For a few days, the excitement burns like fire. You make notes, sketch wireframes, talk to friends. But then logic walks in wearing a suit. It says, "Slow down. We need a plan. We need more research. We'll start when the timing's perfect." Weeks pass, then months. The idea that once kept you awake at night becomes another file on your desktop, renamed again and again. V3 Final Revised Relaunch .docs. You tell yourself you're waiting for the right moment, but deep down you know you're not waiting for timing, you're waiting for certainty. And that's the trap that quietly kills more dreams than failure ever will. Perfection is seductive. It makes you feel productive while keeping you still. You can spend months polishing decks, tweaking designs, rewriting copy, but none of that puts your product in a user's hands. The real cost of waiting isn't money, it's momentum. Momentum is the invisible fuel that turns an idea into a movement. Once it's lost, even the smallest task feels heavy. Your confidence drops, your belief fades, and suddenly you start questioning everything that once felt obvious. I've met founders who waited so long that competitors launched almost identical products. Same concept, same features, but they moved first. They learned faster. They made mistakes in public, corrected them, and owned the market before the dreamer even finished their prototype. Here's the brutal truth. The market doesn't reward the best idea. It rewards the boldest execution. Every delay costs more than you think, because delay compounds. You don't just lose time, you lose relevance. Investors move on, teams drift, energy evaporates, and yet fear keeps whispering. What if I fail? What if no one likes it? Let me tell you a secret. Failing fast is cheaper than waiting perfectly. When you launch, you learn. When you wait, you imagine. And imagination can't build a business. At KSoft Technologies, we've seen this pattern 100 times. Founders with gold in their hands who never tested in the market because they're chasing perfect. So, we built a system designed to destroy that paralysis, the AI Founder Fastlane. It's not magic, it's momentum engineered. In 6 structured weeks, we take your concept, distill it into a buildable plan, create the prototype, validate it with users, and get your MVP live. Not half done, not almost there. Live. Why 6 weeks? Because momentum loves deadlines. Because clarity comes from motion. We've helped founders who were stuck for a year finally launch in 42 days. And the first message they send us after their product goes live always sounds the same. "I can't believe I waited this long." The moment your idea becomes real, something people can click, test, and talk about, everything changes. Your confidence returns. Your story sharpens. Investors listen differently because you're not pitching potential anymore. You're showing proof. When you stop hiding behind planning and start building, you discover something profound. The fear of failure turns into fuel. You stop worrying about whether it will work and start focusing on how to make it better. That's what launching does. It turns anxiety into action. Perfection tells you to protect your dream. Execution tells you to evolve it. Think about every product you admire. None of them were perfect when they launched. The first iPhone couldn't copy-paste. Amazon started as an online bookstore. Every great success began as a simple, imperfect version that had the courage to exist. So ask yourself, what's the cost of waiting another month, another quarter, another year? What's the cost of another investor meeting that ends with, "Come back when it's ready"? What's the cost of staying invisible while the world keeps spinning forward? You don't need another plan. You need proof. At KSoft Technologies, we don't build fantasy decks or endless sprints. we build belief. Our process is fast because it has to be. The world doesn't slow down for hesitation. We work with you, not above you. You provide the vision. We provide the velocity. Every week has a tangible outcome. Every milestone pushes you closer to live. By week 6, you're not dreaming about a product anymore. You're running it. You're collecting user data, refining features, and finally hearing the sound every founder waits for, real feedback. That's when you realize you never needed perfect. You needed real. Momentum builds courage. Courage builds confidence. And confidence builds companies. So if your idea has been sitting in a notebook or a Notion file waiting for someday, consider this your wake-up call. The best time to start was the day you thought of it. The second best time is right now. Stop asking, what if I fail? Start asking, what happens if I finally start? Because the truth is, you'll never feel ready. You'll only ever feel called. Answer that call. Launch, learn, iterate, grow. And remember, progress doesn't require perfection. It requires movement. Bring your idea to life in 6 weeks.